Good morning, children. So let's continue with what we were doing. In the last class, we studied 4 characteristic properties of an instrument. Today we will study other 2, and along with that we will study approximate values, 2 approximate values. So the property number 5 is accuracy and precision. So what is accuracy and precision associated with an instrument? Well, accuracy of measurement represents the closeness of measured value to true value, whereas precision represents closeness of measured value amongst themselves. To understand them further, we have to recollect the example we studied in the last class. In the last class, we found out the diameter of this pen with the help of various instruments. The diameter of this pen came out to be 2.1 centimeter when we used meter scale, whose least count is 0.1 centimeter. Using vernier calipers, even the digit at the second place was revealed and it came out to be 2.19 centimeter. With the help of screw gauge, which can measure up to 3 places beyond decimal, even the digit at the third place was revealed, 2.193. And with the help of micrometer, whose least count is up to 4 places beyond decimal, well, this 4th digit is also revealed. Beyond this, there are no more instruments. So, what happens? With the help of vernier calipers, we are able to know the second digit. With the help of screw gauge, we are able to know third digit. With the help of micrometer, we are able to know 4th digit. Even if we are able to make an instrument with even lesser least count, we would be able to know the next digit. But is this process of knowing the next digit, next unknown digit, ever going to end? No. Though the instrument get over beyond certain value of least count, but the process of knowing next unrevealed digit is never ending and non-terminating process. If all the digits are known, then the value is what? True value. So we can never achieve this true value. With the help of different instruments having lesser and lesser least count, we try to achieve the value, we try to measure the value which is more and more closer to the true value. So what is true value? Nobody knows. That is imaginary. Who knows? God knows. So nobody can find out the true value. And what is accuracy? Accuracy represents closeness of measured value to true value. See, these are 4 measured values. This one is closest to the true value, this one is less closer to the true value, and this one is the farthest from true value. So this has the highest accuracy, this has lesser accuracy, this has even lesser accuracy, and this one has the least accuracy. So of these 4 measurements, the last one is closest to the true value and has highest accuracy, and the first one is farthest from the true value, it has least accuracy. So closeness with the true value is what is accuracy. We try to increase the accuracy of the measurement by decreasing the least count of the instrument. And you can see here, as the least count of the instrument is decreasing, the accuracy of the measurement is what? Increasing. So this accuracy of measurement is inversely proportional to least count. Smaller is the least count of the instrument, the measurement is made from, higher is the accuracy of the measurement. Precision is closeness of measured values among themselves. And if we repeatedly measure a physical quantity with the same instrument, then there is high precision. If we look at all these 4 recordings, they are not as precise the recordings are going to be when we measure the thickness of pen, say repeatedly with vernier calipers. If we measure the thickness of the pen here at different places, at say 6 different places, we measure the diameter of this pen, then what do we get? We get the values like this: 2.16, 2.18, 2.19, 2.17, 2.18, 2.19. That means when you measure it with vernier calipers, there is change here in this second digit only. So all these values are very close to each other. So these set of recordings have higher precision These set of recordings have higher precision than these set of 4 recordings. So precision is the closeness of measured values among themselves. Well, let us understand it with the help of a very popular example. This is a shooting target, the target of shooting range. Well, suppose a shooter is given 5 attempts to fire over the target, and the shooter fires, and his or her 5 shots are like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are the 5 shots by a shooter A. Another shooter attempts 5 shots, and these 5 shots are what? Like this. If you look at the 5 shots of shooter A, this one is closest to the center. The center is analogous to what? True value. So this shot is closest to the center. This shot has highest accuracy. As the distance of the different shots from the center goes on increasing, the accuracy goes on decreasing, and this has the least accuracy. If you look at these shots, again you can say this has maximum accuracy of this is almost same, and these have lesser accuracy. But if you look at the precision, they are scattered over this much of distance, and they are scattered over smaller distance. They are more close to each other. So these set of recordings have higher precision than this set of recordings. Suppose a shooter shoots like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the shot by a third shooter C. So this third shooter has high precision. This third shooter has more precision than these 2 shooters. But if we look at the accuracy, well, this has the least accuracy. This is farthest. All the 5 recordings are very far away from, all these 5 shots are far away from the center. So here the accuracy is less, precision is high. And if all 5 shots are hit right at the center, bullseye, then we have highest accuracy and highest precision. So I hope what is the difference between accuracy and precision, that is clear. Now let us talk about hysteresis. Hysteresis is another characteristic property of instrument. Hysteresis represents non-repeatability of recordings when taken in opposite order. This is due to tiredness of the instrument. When we start using the instrument, it is fresh, and the recordings taken are very correct. But after prolonged use, what happens? The instrument starts giving different readings for the same value of the variable. So what do we do? What do we do to overcome this hysteresis effect? We take the recording in both orders, while increasing in ascending order and also in descending order. When we take the recording in both orders, and for a particular variable there are 2 recordings in that case, an average of the 2 is taken as single recording for that particular variable. Like when you are fresh, you are very active, you are very efficient, but after prolonged working, what happens? You get tired, and then you are not able to work as efficiently as you used to work when you start your work. Same way, the instrument also get tired, and because of tiredness, they do not give the same reading. This is what is called as hysteresis effect. This is associated with every instrument, and if it is huge, then the instrument is said to be poor, and if hysteresis effect is small and negligible, we can proceed ahead with our measurements. Well, there are 2 approximate values we must know. We know them already. I'm just going to recapitulate one last time. Well, the 2 approximate values are round off values and order of magnitude. So what is round off value? Of course, one of the 2 approximate values. And when we try to round off a value up to nth digit, we look at n plus 1th digit. You know this rule, I'm just recapitulating. So when we want to round off a measured value up to nth digit, we look at n plus 1th digit, that is the next digit. If n plus 1th digit is less than 5, we write down the measured value up to nth digit with nothing added to the last digit. And if n plus 1th digit happens to be more than 5, then we rewrite the measured value with 1 added to nth digit. Remember, this 1 is added to nth digit, and if n plus 1th digit happens to be 5, then we look at nth digit once again. If nth digit happens to be even, then we follow rule number 1. If n plus 1th digit happens to be odd, then we follow rule number 2. Rule number 1 means we write down the measured value up to nth place with nothing added to the last digit, and rule number 2 says we write down the measured value up to nth place with 1 added to the nth place. So let us make it more clear with the help of example. Suppose measured value is 14.53855572. This is a measured value, and we are asked to approximate it or round off it up to certain place, say nth place, before or beyond decimal. Anyway, here we are supposed to round off this measured value beyond decimal up to one place. We want to round it off up to one place, like up to this place, that is 5. So this 5 happens to be nth digit. What do? We look at n plus 1th digit, that is the next one. Well, the next one is 3. Next one is 3. That is n plus 1th digit is what? 3. That is n plus 1th digit is less than 5. We apply rule number 1. So we rewrite the value up to nth place with nothing added to nth digit. 14.5. Nothing is added to 5. Now, if we wish to round it off up to say 2 place beyond decimal, that is up to this place, up to 3, 14.53, up to this place, then this 3 happens to be nth digit and 8 happens to be n plus 1th digit. Now, what about this n plus 1th digit? N plus 1th digit is more than 5. If that be the case, then we rewrite the measured value up to nth place with 1 added to the nth place. That is, the round off value is going to be 14.5. This 3 will become what? 4. Now the next thing, if we wish to round off this value up to 3 places beyond decimal, up to this place, that means in this situation, this 8 is nth digit, and this next digit is n plus 1th digit is going to be 5. So if n plus 1th digit is equal to 5, then what do? We look at nth digit again. If we look at this is n plus 1th digit, which is 5, we look at nth digit again, and this nth digit is 8. 8 is what? Even. Then we follow rule number 1. That is, we rewrite the measured value up to nth place with nothing added to nth digit. So we rewrite 14.538, nothing is added to this nth digit. Now if we wish to round it off up to 4th place, that is up to this point, in that case this 5 is nth digit and next 5 is what? N plus 1th digit. Now this n plus 1th digit is 5, then we re-look at the nth digit, which is what? Which is 5 here, and that is what? Odd. Odd means we have to follow rule number 1. Rule number 2. So if this is 5 and this happens to be odd, so we increase this 5 and make it 6, and we write this as the rounded off value. So you know this result. Less than 5, we keep it same. More than 5, we increase it by 1. If it is 5, then we look at the previous digit, whether it is 1, even or odd. If it is even, we keep it same. If it is odd, we increase it by 1. So we knew this rule. And one last time you have understood this rule. Well, we never apply series. We just look at n plus 1th digit. We do not look at n plus 2th digit, n plus 3 digit. At times you say this is 2, this becomes 7, this becomes 6, this is 6, this becomes what? 6, this is 6, this becomes 9. So don't apply this series. When we want to round off a value up to nth place, we just look at the next digit, no other digit. Okay, the next approximate value is order of magnitude. Very important. You have studied this also in class 10. Well, order of magnitude is the approximate value in powers of 10. When approximate value is expressed in powers of 10 with unit, then it is called its order of magnitude. Well, this is measured value, and when we find out order of magnitude, we have to write down the measured value in this format only. What is this format? In this format, the measured value has only non-zero digit at unit place. This is x, point, y, z, and so on. So this is the format, and what is special about the format is the fact that measured value has to be written in this format. If it is not in this format, it has to be converted into this format by multiplying or dividing by certain powers of 10. So if measured value is in this format, x, point, y, z into 10 to the power n u is unit. We look at this x, point, y, z, that is measured value, this part. If this part of the measured value is less than 3.16, 3.16 is square root of 10, then order of magnitude is what? 10 to the power n unit. And if this part of the measured value, if this part of the measured value, this is not measured value, this is part of the measured value, if this part of the measured value is more than or equal to 3.16, in that case order of magnitude is 10 to the power n plus 1. Very simple rule. But don't forget the unit. Without unit you will get 0. Well, these are 3 examples. This is mass of electron. Mass of electron is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kilogram. What is the order of magnitude of mass of electron? See, mass of electron is written in this format already. And you look at this and 9.1. What is this 9.1? Yes, of course it is more than 3.16. That means the order of magnitude is going to be what? 10 to the power n plus 1. N is minus 31 plus 1. 10 to the power minus 31 plus 1 is what? 10 to the power minus 30 kilogram. Charge of electron, that is 1.6 into 10 to the power 19 coulomb. What is this 1.6? Less than 3.16. So what is order of magnitude? 10 to the power n unit only. So 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb is the order of magnitude. Nothing added to this n. Well, this is measured value 52659 kilogram. This is the measured value, and you are supposed to write down its order of magnitude. See, first of all, we have to convert it into this format. So how can we convert it into this format? Well, see, this is 72659. We have to get a point here, a decimal here. That is possible only when we multiply it by 10 to the power 4 and divide it by 10 to the power 4. We multiply it by 10 to the power 4, that is 10,000, and divide it by 10,000. When we divide it by 10,000, we get what? 7.2659, and when we multiply, well, it is 10 to the power 4. So we have converted it into this format using this power of 10. Now look at this quantity. Is this quantity more than 3.16? Yes, it is. So what is order of magnitude? Order of magnitude is going to be 10 to the power n plus 1, that is 10 to the power 4 plus 1, that is 10 to the power 5 kilogram. So with this we come to the end of today's class, and in the next class we will study the last characteristic property, which is very important, significant figures. And we have to have a very thorough command over these approximate values so as to be able to understand further. So with this we come to the end of today's class. We will continue significant figure in the next class. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.